Congressman Peter DeFazio, representing the 4th District of Oregon, defazio.house.gov, a proud member of the progressive, very much the progressive wing of the Democratic Party and the Progressive Caucus, and all-around good guy. Congressman DeFazio, so glad to have you back with us.
Hey, how are you, Tom?
I am very, very, very fine. Thank you.
Hey, in your former domicile, Oregon, you missed some extraordinary weather. The second coldest day in history since I've been keeping records.
Wow.
10 below zero in Eugene on Saturday night.
Holy cow. Well, I'll be back there.
They closed down the government because it was a snowflake.
Yeah,
I just landed. There were. I got to admit, I had to use a squeegee on my windshield at the airport. But
yeah. Oh my. Well, all three of our kids still live in Portland, so we're going back there for Christmas. So I'll
it'll warm up.
Check it out in a week or two.
Yeah.
Anyway, Congressman, the social safety net programs, Elizabeth Warren and the Third Way, the jobless benefits, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and I wanted to get your perspective as a member of the House of Representatives. You know how these political things play out. What's your take on what's going on right now and how the end of this year is going to play out and why?
Well, I mean, if the Third Way are purporting to be Democrats, I'd say their Democrats have lost their way.
Right.
They first attacked Elizabeth, as I have witnessed in the press, I guess, 10 days ago or so, because she's proposing ways to make Social Security, stable for generations to come, very simply by asking for closing a tax loophole, asking everybody to pay the same percent of their earnings into the Social Security Trust Fund. It's a bill I've had in the House since the 90s, first introduced by me and Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth is proposing similar things.
Right.
I mean, the chain CPI is cruel. I mean, it's like people are being overcompensated for inflation. Look at medical cost inflation. The whole market basket, so-called, of goods that seniors buy is so different than the normal cost of living index for folks, the normal CPI has been jiggered by including, consumer electronics and stuff that are dropping in price to make it look lower than it really is. But if you look at essentials, prices are going up, and particularly essentials for seniors, which is costs of heating, costs of pharmaceuticals and medical care, costs, of gas for your car. I mean, all the kind of more essential things seniors are focused on are going up. So chain CPI is really a cruel attack on those 40% of seniors, particularly dependent on Social Security. And for anybody who pretends or purports to be Democrats to attack Elizabeth because of that, that's outrageous. And then unemployment, 1.2 million people fall off the edge of the planet. These aren't people lounging in Paul Ryan's magical hammock, too lazy to work. I mean, hey, you try and put together a family on unemployment benefits and food stamps, which have been reduced. Not too pleasant, in addition to meeting your mortgage, your tax payments, and every other darn thing you have to do while you're looking for a job that you can't find, and then cut your unemployment assistance right at Christmas time. Incredibly cruel stuff.
Yeah, but Rand Paul says that after 4 weeks, employers don't want unemployed people any longer, and therefore we should not let unemployment extend, well, certainly beyond the 26 weeks, I think is what he said on Fox News the other day.
Well, Rand Paul has lived an incredibly privileged life, and he's some sort of physician. Good for him. But he's not talking about the reality of my laid-off mill workers in Cave Junction who just got layoff notices 6 months ago, and there's no other opportunities there. He's not talking about the construction workers, who haven't really bounced back and are now laid off because of severe winter weather. He's not talking about, struggling American families, working families, people who want to work hard, want to do better. They're playing by the rules, and they just can't make ends meet.
Yeah, it's so true. It's the word clueless comes to mind.
Well, the view from the country club, as I describe it, I mean, when you look out the window down at the first fairway, you don't see anybody out there, except maybe the caddy, who's hungry or struggling to make ends meet, and you just the caddy's invisible to you because that's just the servant.
Yeah. To what extent do you think that things might change in the spring when all the states' primary filing dates are up and the Republicans in Congress are no longer looking over their shoulder at a Tea Party, Koch brothers funded or Wall Street bankster funded primary challenge?
Well, I mean, that's one of the major problems we got here. People who might be just sort of regular conservatives have become arch conservatives. We're driven to shut down the government and other things. I still don't think that's going to lead us to any new consensus. I mean, then they'll be just looking forward to the election. Boehner's looking forward to apparently wanting to be speaker again, although a speaker who doesn't control his own party, I'm not sure why he wants to do that. Mm-hmm. But he probably gets better tea times as speaker than he could get as a lobbyist. I don't expect any major changes. I mean, they're going to do this small ball budget bill perhaps by the end of this week, and that'll be it until after the next election in terms of any struggle over closing tax loopholes, working for major tax reform, tax fairness, restoring cuts in food stamps. It also will mean on their side they're not going to get to cut Medicare and Social Security, and that's all put off through the next election.
Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. We have just about a half a minute left, Congressman. We're talking with Congressman Peter DeFazio. What would be your top legislative priority in the best of all worlds?
Oh, God, Tom, you're offering me the moon here, and it's
in 30 seconds.
Hard to think. Well, one of the things I think that Elizabeth was attacked on, and something I just saw something about it today. I would like to see a transaction tax, which would both rein in speculative activities on Wall Street and raise huge amounts of money, which we could split between dealing with long-term fiscal problems, the deficit, and the need for investment, putting people back to work, investment in education, investment in infrastructure, bolstering up social programs, full funding for food stamps, unemployment insurance, those sorts of things.
That's a great suggestion. Bring back the stat tax. There you go. Congressman Peter DeFazio, thank you so much, Congressman.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
It's always a pleasure talking with you. We'll be back.